Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's we're rolling out of lunch, New York time. It's about 7 a.m. here in Honolulu. We had a busy morning this morning, so sorry for the late report. Better late than never, right? Excuse me. Uh, so we kind of mentioned yesterday, right? We took a little trade in Visa, right, on their earnings. We did a little side pop. We did that in our live room, right, with our members that join us in the live room. Not really a system play for us, but something that we threw a few bucks at. And guess what, man? Visa hit earnings and we cashed that out. Nice little easy 40% overnight. So that was a nice little trade. And being the gluttons for punishment, you kind of look at the earnings from last night, right? Microsoft and Google and stuff like that. Really great numbers. But Microsoft's getting a little beat up. We think it's unjustified. So we took a little poke at some 260s this morning. We went about a week out for you guys that want to kind of play along. We also think too, if you're the long-term minded, this might be a chance that if last week Microsoft was making its all-time highs and stuff, this might be your little opportunity to get in the stock into your portfolio. While it's a little bit cheap, we don't think it'll go down much more, and we'll see if we're right or wrong over the next couple of days. We've got Apple after the bell today, right? And on the note of earnings, it's been really good numbers, guys. But you notice this market, it's actually been a little petulant with a lot of these issues. Tesla's back under $700 today, and this is after great earnings, another profitable quarter, right? And Elon Musk saying that he believes the company will sell more vehicles over the course of this year than other automakers, which would be quite an achievement, right? That's the missing link for Tesla. It's got the technology, it's got the product, it just needs to get those bad boys into the market. And so we'll see. We don't trade Tesla. We're not big Tesla people. Not to say that it hasn't been a great investment. It has. If you're one of those Tesla people, good job. But and we think that selling's a little bit overdone too. But you see that with a Microsoft, look, Microsoft Power, man, they're just going at it with the cloud between them and Amazon and that AWS. It's just, there's room for two big fish in this pond. And, it's obviously Microsoft and Amazon. Of course, Google's in there too, but why would you be selling Microsoft right now? Great profits, great growth and stuff like that. We think it's a buying opportunity. So we took a little poke at the options. Other than that, guys, it's just been a quiet day, right? We got Jerome Powell coming up. We'll see what he says. Probably, the expectations are that he's going to placate the market like he has been. And that makes sense, right? The inflation number, right? Your 10-year yield. It's been kind of stuck at 1.5 range for the last few days. It popped back up to that 1.6 range, but it's not nothing close to that recent high, right? So he's probably right to a certain extent that inflation is not really it's not really kicking in big time right now. It's growing slowly, and it's there, and it needs to be watched, and it's a concern. But it's not a right now concern. We got bigger problems. Anyways, look, so we'll see how that comes out. You never really know what the Fed's going to say till they say it. And like I said, the expectations are that he's going to placate the market like he has, profess his desire to stimulate this market as much as needs to be for as long as needs to be. And I think the last time, what did they say, up into 2023, something like that, with the rate hike? We still think we get a rate hike by the end of the year. But right now we think the market's bullish. Right now the market is very playable right now, and we're in our live room. We've been taking little pokes. Like I said, we did the Visa overnight. We've got the Apple till Friday, based on their earnings, and we've got the Microsoft. We opened up this morning. We cashed out the Visa at a win. Other than that, guys, look. Energy. We've been talking about energy the last 3 weeks. We've been talking about how we set up a nice energy play. Well, guess what happened? Despite all that talk the last 2-3 weeks, oil just blew through $64. Looks like it's easily on the way to 70, and it looks like that triple digit $100 is coming. Of course, that'll contribute to your inflation, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, right? Let's make money right now. Other than that, guys, that energy play, like I said, the XLE, the Suncor, which is SU, the ET, all having great days. Now, we're also playing a little Ford. We like Ford's to have some decent earnings after the bell today. We're in some $13 calls on that right now. I think it's trading about $12.50, $12.60 right out that strike. We should be fine. We're about a month out on those. But we think not so much about the earnings with Ford. It's about what they're going to talk about going forward. That entries, getting that entry into the electric vehicle market. They've done some amazing things with the Mustang. They've got an SUV, a long line with GM and things like that. The domestic automakers are really starting to make a push into that electric vehicle market. It's a lot like when the internet was first coming around, the www thing. A lot of these big companies, it took them a while before they got into the websites and stuff like that. They had to see that it was true before they started pushing. But once they pushed, it just domination. We think these domestic automakers will be the same thing. Not that Tesla's not a good investment. If you believe in it, you stick with it. But we think that there's a lot more room for running in the domestic automakers, especially Ford at $12 a share right now, right? Think about back to 2015 when nobody wanted to touch Bank of America at $9, right? And look at it now. Okay. And that was based on forward things you're thinking, right? So that's the way we're playing right now, guys. We're bullish. We're just kind of sitting back now. We opened up that Microsoft trade this morning. We're just kind of watching to see how Jerome Powell goes. And of course, we're going to see how Apple's earnings go after the market. It's been a subdued market. It's been leaning kind of to the bullish side, but it has these moments of red that are created by one or two stocks, right? Boeing. All right. Boeing's very influential on the Dow. Let's go take a look at what the market's doing before I let you guys go. And you can see there, the S&P is pushing up a little bit green. That's after spending most of the morning in the red. The NASDAQ starting to push towards that break even. But that Dow is just getting beat up a little bit. There's a little Bitcoin news today. This should probably be good news for Bitcoin because the SEC's delayed its decision on approving a Bitcoin ETF. The longer you keep the SEC out of your business, the better it is. You guys know what I mean. Anyways, regulation is never good for something like that. And how's the crypto market? You can see that Ethereum just been on fire. Huh? All you guys that own Ethereum out there, man, good job. It looks like that prophecy is coming true on it. And a lot of people are really high on Ethereum, especially like Mark Cuban and stuff. You can see Bitcoin's holding that 54, 55 level like a champ. So it's interesting. This news came out and it didn't really hurt the crypto market, probably because the intelligent crypto player right now is looking at this as a good thing. Okay. Other than that, you scroll through the news, not a whole lot going on here, guys, except for we got the Fed after the bell. We've had these earnings come through. Everybody's selling chicken now, so there's a chicken shortage. They should come to Kalihi. We got plenty of them. And then here's, this helps us with our confidence. We've been talking about, we've got this Apple trade till Friday, right? Option traders bet on a big post earnings move in Apple. Let's do it. I remember what I told you guys last week. This is a terrible way to trade with your fingers crossed, but hey, whatever works. And, and this makes sense. We think we're kind of in that group right now, guys, where we think that, Apple, despite, the last earnings being blowout earnings, they made $1 billion in profit in a quarter, in a 3-month period. How incredible is that? You're not talking revenue. You're not talking to anything other number. You're not talking pre-tax. You're not talking anything. You're talking about putting $1 billion of cash in your bank account. And of course, they have a bank account that already had $1 billion. So now it's like 10, 15, who knows what it is right now. But Once that happened, guys, you saw the stock just go into this flux, right? It kind of trickled down. It went sideways. It come up a little, down a little. They're probably an accumulation stage. And we think this time it's going to be a lot different with Apple. We think those earnings will be good, and we think the market is going to eat this thing up. And so that's the way we played it. But it's interesting how this whole thing is played out, and interesting how the market is kind of going bullish on it along with us. Other than that, guys, it is Wednesday. Okay, it is hump day. You guys have a great afternoon. We'll see how this shakes out with Apple and Jerome Powell. Like I said, right now the market's pretty much, that's what expected from the Dow when you have a big component like Boeing get hit, and Microsoft too. That's another big component, right? And it gotten pretty beat up this morning. Not a whole lot going on the political front. We've got the big Biden speech coming up where he's going to unveil this, what is it? Family support plan or something like that. We'll see when devil's in the details, right? We'll see what he says. Other than that, it's Jerome Powell, Apple after the bell, Ford after the bell, which we're in both those, and we'll see how it shakes out. We'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget to take a look at the stock of the week we released yesterday, Ecolab. And I'm mentioning the stock of the weeks, guys. Those stock of the weeks are doing great. The ET is on fire right now. When we released that as a stock of the week, it was well under $8. It's well above $8 now, and it pays a great dividend, right? Match.com, since we talked about it in the stock of the week, it is just going crazy. That thing's up about almost 40% in one of the portfolios. One of the portfolios that's owned that before we release it as a stock of the week is up almost 100% on that. It's a great stock. It's a great company. Love is in the air. Two things that never go away on the internet, right? Love and porn, right? But take a look at them. Even though we released Suncor, right? Suncor is a stock that we're playing as a system play, and we own in our portfolios. Here's the other thing too, guys. Look, we don't recommend anything we don't put our own money into. We're not like the guys on CNBC and stuff where we sit here and tell you this is the greatest stock, it's going to have a big move and stuff. Then when you see the disclosure on the side, they don't own a share. We're not like that, guys. We're wealth builders, and we want to build wealth together. So if we talk about it, we'll buy it. If we're not willing to put our money on it, we're not willing to suggest it as anything. Playboy. How about Playboy? We released Playboy as a fund stock, right? To get a little ETF, NFT exposure, which is your fungible assets or whatever you call them. You don't necessarily have to understand it to make money off of it. But you look at the Playboy since we opened it up, since we first talked about it a couple weeks ago, that thing has just been running away. So take a look at the stock of the weeks, especially if you're kind of like new to investing. You want to kind of get a feel for how other people do it. You don't necessarily have to play them, but take a look at them. Listen to why we chose them. Always understand that every time we do a stock of the week, it's like anything we add to the portfolio, we have a thesis going into it and a plan. And try to get the feel for that, even if you're not going to play them, especially you new wealth builders and stuff. It's great lessons in there. Now, on something like a Playboy, guys, I just wanted to mention this. Because when we entered that, right, when we buy Playboy, we talked about it, the thesis, right? What was our plan? Well, we wanted to get a little NFT exposure. We know the stock's not a dividend payer or anything like that, but we knew there could be some price acceleration. So once you get that price acceleration, there's nothing left in the reward chest. You've already gutted it. You have taken the booty, and it's on your ship now. So you want to be careful. What you want to do is keep stops on it so that, if the price acceleration stops, the money gets dead. So you cash it in. Okay. And just remember that. Now, with something that pays a great dividend like an ET or something, you probably want to keep that for a long, long time. You're not going to be as eager to sell. If it does have pullbacks, you've always got those dividends to protect you and start cost averaging in without you having to put any money. The money's not dead. There's ways that it gets excited, right? On something that you're just buying it straight for. This is always our complaint about Tesla. The only reward from owning Tesla is price acceleration. If that price acceleration stops, then it becomes dead money, or even worse, trickle down money, which is just slowly goes towards lower and lower. And so always remember that, guys. Be smart about why you enter trades, understand why you enter trades, and follow your thesis through the trade. Okay, guys. So let's close that. That's a lot of talking for a Wednesday. Let's roll out a Wednesday here, guys. Let's see what Jerome Powell does this afternoon. Should be an interesting afternoon. And then we've got the big boy, right? We've got Apple, right? Your largest software company in the world, reporting after the bell. You also have Ford, one of your largest domestic producers of vehicles, reporting after the bell. It should be an interesting afternoon. We'll see how it goes. All right, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow with the other update. And don't forget, go take a look at those stock of the weeks. I think you'll enjoy it. All right, gang.